What's going on, guys? Phil here. Wanted to bring you another video on a deck that I think is one of the most popular decks on the first day of the Rise of Tragic expansion, and that would be Heal Druid. Um, Heal Druid is an archetype which is brand new. They've pushed this very hard with this expansion, so it's no surprise that it kind of exists. But I don't think anyone expected it to be nearly as strong as it actually is. It got quite a few, good looking, but like in your head you think, oh dude, I got an 8 mana 4/8 taunt that eventually comes back occasionally, and you're like, that's kind of cool, not super great. Oh dude, I got a 5 mana 8 kind of 8/8 rush, and that seems really strong, but I don't think the support's gonna be there. Turns out the support might actually be there for Heal Druid to become a very strong deck. So this is the list that I've been using during day one. This was the very first list that I played, actually. I did not like pioneer this list. I know that there was a version running around with the Undertaker. I am unsure whether the Undertaker is worthwhile. I instead had it replaced with Traveling Healer, but for the sake of the video and for the sake of testing, we will try the Undertaker in our Heal Druid. The problem with it that I find is that it dilutes your Juicy Psych Melon pool, so it means that if you Juicy Psych Melon looking for Lucent Bark, which your entire deck is built around Lucent Bark, and you get the Undertaker, well, that kind of really sucks. But for the sake of the video, we will try it out. This is the current list I'm running. I think that the current weakest card in the list is Potion Vendor. So if you see this, just thoughts going into it, I think the Potion Vendor is definitely a card that is more kind of cutesy than actually very viable. But let's see how this goes. Heal Druid is like, it's one of the best infinite value classes that's come out in the first, 4 or 5 hours. Simply because Lucent Bark with Faceless Manipulators creates a very large amount of 4/8 taunts that then keep coming back. And it's kind of like Hadronox Druid, where you're just able to keep creating these boards over and over again, and it keeps requiring removal. And eventually your opponent's just going to run out of removal. The only deck that I've had real issues facing off against as Heal Druid is Big Warrior, and to a certain extent Bomb Warrior. Bomb Warrior can kind of get under you with bombs, which is kind of crazy considering your entire deck is all about healing. But Bomb Druid, or Bomb Warrior, has a lot of staying power, I think. I think that, without a doubt, Bomb Warrior and Control Warrior and Big Warrior, basically any kind of warrior deck at the moment, is being like the highlight star of the first day of the expansion. But I kind of find the deck really boring to play, and I don't really want to play like 40-minute matches every match to start the day, so I've been experimenting a bit more, and this Heal Druid seems pretty cool. So we will see how this goes. Landscaping. So we're going to be against, most likely, Dog's Very Aggro Druid. That's what it's called. It's called Very Aggro. And it's an interesting list. I have not played it yet, simply because I didn't think it looked that good, but it's one of the few aggressive options that's around right now. This also could be an Archmage Vorgoroth deck. He was getting experimented with because, he was released like 3 or 4 days early from the expansion, and although he's kind of, like, I haven't seen him a lot during these first couple hours of the first day, I have seen him a couple times, and I think he just kind of flew under the radar, because like, oh my god guys, 134 cards coming out. Oh wait, expansions have 135, I wonder what that last one was. It's Archmage. He's still really powerful. His effect is crazy. So, we're playing against something real weird here. Treant into Dendroladrist. Okay. So we have to be on the lookout for Mulch Munchers. Mulch Munchers can be potentially scary. I want to draw a card. Trying to keep Wrath for Keeper Steladris is pretty good, but like, I kind of just want to get through our deck a little more. So we found the Undertaker, which means that our Juicy Psych Melon will guarantee us our Lucent Bark. One good thing, like, the reason you run the Undertaker is because goes with Countess Ashmore so well. And Countess Ashmore can find both the Undertaker and Lucent Bark, so whichever one you don't find off your Juicy Psych Melon, you can then get the following turn. Because your Juicy Psych Melon will always get Countess. Damn. This makes me wish that we would have kept the Wrath. But I can either develop the Death Rattle for the Undertaker, or I can go with a Crystal Power Keeper Stellages play. I think this always happens. In theory, I want to heal this, but I really like developing this. Well, we can develop that next turn. I think this is too good to pass up. So I'm going to restore health to my minion. I'm actually just going to keep hold of the spells and take this trade. I'm not sure if this was the best usage of Keeper Stellages. Obviously, he's better with Wrath, but, like, this ain't too bad. I've actually never seen the art on this one. Healing Blossom. That's pretty cute. I like that. But yeah, so this deck basically just wins in kind of a, like, fatigue-y style. You don't actually hit fatigue very often, but you just create such a big board that can never go away unless it gets silenced, and that's just really difficult to deal with. And then you have Savage Roar for the aggressive matchups. Not the aggressive, like the control v control where they have a lot of armor, so like Warrior. I run it specifically for Warrior, basically. Okay, so we're able to kill this off for basically free, which is very nice. Getting rid of I'm surprised he went with the Violet Teacher there, to be honest. He may not have realized that we still had access to the deal 2 damage section. But, like, that Violet Teacher gained almost no value. We have to be worried about Whispering Woods, Soul of the Forest, and Savage Roar. Token Druid got a lot of support, but it also lost branching paths, which, like, wow. A Savage Roar just on my 4/5. That feels pretty good. Feels like really good for me. I like that a lot. Floop. Okay, so we're just going to save this to either combo with Lucent Bark or to combo with the Life Weaver. The Life Weaver is a card which is, it's a 3-mana 2/5, where whenever you restore health, you get a Druid spell. And I have played about 6 games with this deck and have never drawn it once. So I have 0 input into how effective it actually is. I'll just kill this for free. Part of the reason, by the way, in all these like first day videos, I'm going to be referencing that I've been playing decks, and there's no stats on the board. I was playing on my iPad with some other friends, so you can't track stats on iPad. So that's why, like, I have experience with all these lists that I'm running. It's just not going to be shown in the deck tracker faceless. So I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 damage. I could just go big and make a bunch of these guys. Like, obviously this isn't the play you really want to make, because you want to save these typically for your Lucent Bark, but I kind of like just putting on the pressure, because he's already used one Savage Roar, which is like his biggest, like, I'm gonna really buff up my board card. He could have the Twin Spell card, that'd be pretty bad, as well as Power of the Wild. So it's bad in those cases. This also means that if he somehow gets through all this, and we're able to, you know, Lucent Bark, do some cool stuff with Lucent Bark, our Undertaker has the potential to actually not gain the Lucent Bark Death Rattle, because we will have played so many Rotten Apple Bombs that it can overwrite it. But it looks like we might just get under him with these kind of random minions. If he is somehow able to deal with this, our best draw is probably like anything that redraws. So Wrath, Savage Roar is okay. Oh, we won anyway. Cool. So that's not the way you typically play Heal Druid, but felt pretty good, not gonna lie. We were able to get just kind of under him, because he wasted it. He had a really weird Violet Teacher turn that I don't believe should have been his play. Obviously, I don't know his hand, but like that was incredibly weak. And then he had to Savage Roar on just a 1/1, and like that's a little bit preemptive. That 4/5 wasn't really gonna pressure him too much, and if he would have had that Savage Roar for say that turn where he had all those 2/2s, then it might have been a lot better. I'm gonna keep Steladris, just because at the very least it's a 2-mana 2/3. I have not played any Hunter today. I have faced absolutely zero. Keep your Steladris into Crystal Power? Hell yeah. Okay, so we're against an aggro deck. Mechs. Have not seen mechs from Hunter ever. Not since the very beginning of the Boomsday. So we'll see where this goes. This most likely uses the 6-mana 3/4 guy. The Omnitron? Or Orbitron? I don't know. The mech that death rattles into other mechs with death rattle and stuff like that. So post turn 6 he will probably have some kind of explosive plays, but at least in the early game he is doing virtually nothing. So what's scarier, a mech or a beast? I'm definitely going to say a beast. I'm going to just get the value out of this right now. We don't know what he's playing, so like it's a little scary not having anything on board. So I like just having this around. Bomb Toss, okay. We also now have access to Restore 5, so our stag on 5 will be an 8/8, which is pretty great, especially against whatever this deck is. Oh, wow. Okay, so yeah, we're going to Restore 5 this turn to activate this guy. I could consider killing this if I'm scared of magnetics, but I don't think I'm scared of magnetics, so I'm just going to ping it down and set up to eventually ping it down again. I'm disrespecting magnetic a lot this turn, but hopefully it doesn't matter. Ooh, Ursatron. I thought he was pretty good. Glad to see him find a home in Kuna's deck. I have not experimented with Hunter at all. Actually, there's a lot of classes I haven't even touched yet. Yeah, so I think the play is definitely just playing this. This is to your hand. Draw a mech from your deck. Yeah, it's not like summon or anything. So I'm fine with this. Just clear everything. And now if we really want, we can make another. It's only a 6/8, but that's still pretty good. 6/8 with Rush. The Whelp. He has no access to play deads anymore, which is pretty great. That's like pretty important. I want to get to Loosened Bark as fast as possible, so I'm going to hope for the 50/50. This is why I don't like the Undertaker. We hit the 50/50. Perfect. Is there any reason to kill this? Fireworks Tech. We're going to play around Fireworks Tech by killing that. It obviously gives him a lot more potential damage, but Fireworks Tech is just too strong. Yeah. I don't have very many ways to deal with a 7/7. Especially if he has like a Kill Command or a Hunter's Mark for my 6/6. Nope. Good. If this 6/6 somehow survives, that's perfect for me, because I can just trade 6/6 and deal 2. That's very wishful thinking though, so at the very least I have my 4/4s that rush. That seems incredibly weak. There we go. That's why it's not incredibly weak. Okay, so this is fine. I can full clear with this guy. What did I mill? Tortoise, that's fine. So we go 4 into here, 4 into here, deal 2, it'll kill that guy, and I'm going to just play a Crystallizer. That was basically the best way we could have possibly had that happen, because that 7/7 was really scary. Uh-oh. It's a 7/7. But that's okay. We're starting to get into territory where... Oh no. Well, we get a Loosened Bark. Problem is we don't have a way to restore the health to resummon it at the moment. But it's the play, and we pray for no silence. Next turn we can go 4 mana Gloop 1 into Faceless, which is pretty big. And we just have to, we have a way to restore 5 after that, so as long as this doesn't get silenced, I'm like pretty happy. Okay. We take 7, but that's fine. That scared me so much. I thought that was going to be an owl. That was really spooky. So Loosened Bark, Faceless Loosened Bark. These will both die this turn, and then next turn we restore 5 health and get 3 more of them. I think this Hunter deck would be fairly strong. This Hunter deck seems crazy versus Warrior. I don't know how Warrior deals with this. That's kind of the thing that's really cool about day 1, is like, something pops up, it's really powerful for like 2 hours, and then someone's like, dude, I figured out what beats this, and that becomes powerful for 2 hours, and then someone's like, dude, I figured out this, and like, oh, but wait, can counter deck for counter deck actually counter this other deck? And like, it's just super interesting. So he's gonna get another Bomb Toss. Ooh, that's really bad for me. Kill his 7/3. Killed that. That's funny. He gets another Goblin Bomb. Ow. No, he hit the 7/7. Unlucky. Alright. That Bomb Toss onto my Loosened Bark was huge for him. So, I actually kind of like going... Do I want to do this? Or do I want to go 5-4? I could also go 5-3-2. That might be the best, actually. No, because Sarador's like my win condition, so I need to go with this, I think. Yeah. Restore 5. Everyone comes back. And I'm going to kill this 7/3. I could have killed a 7/4 with my 1/3, but I like having the 1/3 body around for the Savage Roar. And these all have slightly too much health, so unless he runs Hounds, they will most likely live. He could also have triple shot? Take aim? I think it's called Take Aim. The twin spell that deals 1. He used 1 kill command already, so like it's very unlikely we get burned out over the top. Ooh, Menace. Menace doesn't really matter actually, huh? Next turn, we can summon all our Loosened Barks again, which is pretty big. Our Crystallizer can also kill that 10-1 at the moment. So we're not in a good position, but I think we're starting to mount this comeback. Another one, I forgot he got that from the 9 lives from the Zul'jin. I think he still has another one. Or maybe he has a Goblin Bomb in hand. I think he has a Goblin Bomb. Okay. So I want to be able to restore 5. What's the best way to restore 5? Probably this. But I kind of want to get these set up too. But I don't have board space for all that. So we go 5 here. I can trade like this and get it to resummon. That's probably just fine. Yeah. This is the play. And you kill a 1/1. You play 3. Kill that, and you restore 3. And then you play this, and you restore the rest, and get all your Loosened Barks back. So this is why this deck is powerful. Because you will almost, like, maybe I'm just good at, like, getting this draw combo, but almost every time I play Loosened Bark on 8, I then have Floop into Faceless on 9. And, like, that's, it seems inconsistent, but it showed up almost every game I've played. And it spirals you into this board position that's crazy. Like, if you can afford to, you never want to play Loosened Bark without having Floop in hand. Because having the guaranteed one from Floop is just so big. It also helps you play around silence, which obviously like this deck kind of loses to silence if you don't do what I just said about Floop. It's so many 7/7s, but we're somehow sticking through it. So we have 3, 4, 8, 12, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. We won. Jesus. Exact lethal. So that is why Heal Druid is like absolutely insane. That was the best possible representation of Heal Druid I think I could have gotten. That was like borderline perfect. The only issue is that if my Ashmore hadn't drawn my Lucent Bark, this is why I don't like Undertaker. I think if you're running this list, you'd actually don't want Undertaker. If I had gotten Undertaker instead of Lucent Bark, I was completely screwed. So, or not the Ashmore, the Psych Melon. I would have been completely screwed. So, I think we're gonna run back one more and see how it goes. Honestly, if it goes poorly, it's never gonna make it to YouTube. If it goes well, then you guys get to hear how I think. Because that last game was the perfect representation of why this deck is strong, and that's just about all the, it's like the only game I need to kind of explain my thoughts. Sir panics a lot. Is this the same guy? No, we played against Kuna. Alright, so I'm gonna keep Tortoise. Tortoise is really cool inclusion in this list. Tortoise is a card that like never saw any play anywhere, and now it's like actually a staple of this this deck's early game. Jaegers. This is like a great hand. We get to go 2 mana 2/4 into 3 mana 3/5 into a Wrath. Now we just gotta look for some of the later game power cards. I think I'm fine with this staying alive and trading with one of these. It's really not that big of an issue to me. There's no trade coming out, really? That's very surprising. Because I just get to free trade like this now. I'm really surprised to see that Acorn Barrier face there. Especially because I instantly healed for all the damage it did too. I made a similar misplay in my Priest video though, so I can understand what went through his mind there. So I'm at 2, then I'll be at 1, so I need to restore 1 more health. That's kind of annoying. Alright, so let's deal 1, draw 1, and see what we find. Traveling Healer. Okay, so what I can actually do is go like this, trade this here, go like that, and when he kills this, I'll restore 1 more, and my Rush Stag will work. That was the play. Yeah. So, no matter what he does, we will trade our 1/1, because then we get our Rush Stag, and then Rush Stag is almost always our play next turn. I don't see a reason why it wouldn't be. Because we'll get to kill 2 of his minions that he plays out. This could be a Power of the Wild. That'd be pretty cool. Or pretty strong for him. Is he gonna trade with my Tortoise? Dude, this guy, like, his trading has not been what I would call the most effective this game. He's taken value trades where he really shouldn't be trying to take value trades. And you can say the same for what I just did. I took 2 value trades that potentially would have just been better if I had 2 4/2s instead of a 4/2, a 4/1, and a 3/1. But his early game, he has not sustained very well. Taunt, okay. Oh my god, this is like the best potion vendor in the world. I'm gonna restore 3 here. I'm then going to trade, and then I'm gonna potion vendor to restore 2 to everything. Value trade. Value trade. Because there's no way that deck's not running swipe, I don't think. Jesus. I guess that's why the potion vendor's in here, huh? Good versus aggro, but there's just not a ton of aggro right now. See, like, I feel like I should be scared of that 6-mana 8/8, but I'm really not. I'm in such a, like, powerful position right now. Like, I just get to draw a card with this. I don't even have to worry about the board. Or about, like, restoring health. I just get to keep up. Oh my god, and that's, like, the perfect draw as well. Extra rush guy. These have been, like, the best 2 Druid games. I did have a match earlier, or actually my mom had a match earlier. She was against a priest who Lazul scheme and then stole with Cabal Shadow Priest her Lucent Bark. But then she was able to go Floop and Faceless the next turn, so she still had 2 Lucent Barks. And the priest had Spirit of the Bonsamdi or whatever, and shuffled like 3 different Lucent Barks into their own priest deck. And that was a crazy game. That would have been a game like for the record books. Let me just Lucent Bark here. Take some trades. We could honestly go face, but I'm just playing around Savage Roar, Twin Spell card, Power of the Wild, Soul of the Forest. Soul of the Forest is actually pretty big. We definitely should be continuing to trade because of Soul of the Forest. At this point, this guy's pretty much done for. You can have Power of the Wild with this. Floop. And then 4 mana Lucent Bark. That's a semi-weird interaction. Like, obviously your Faceless becomes a minion, but you did play a Faceless, so I think that your Faceless from Floop should actually just stay as a Faceless, so you can copy something else if you wanted. That seems like quite a weird interaction. I guess it counts as like you played the Faceless and then like it dies and you play the Lucent Bark. That's pretty weird. Anyways, that was Healdred. I'm gonna take a chance to show you the list one more time. It's obviously been on screen all video, but just in case you wanted to see it there, Healdred is incredibly powerful. It is just really resilient. You have like almost comparable early game stats to Silence Priest, which is kind of crazy because Silence Priest has to run so many extra like activators to get like a 2 mana 4/5 or a 3 mana 5/6, but you just have a 3 mana 3/5, and like obviously there's 5/6 up here, 3/5 down here, but compared to most other decks, a 3/5's like here, and they're getting like, I don't know, a 3/3, and that's just that early game control helps you get to your late game combos so well. The only issue I could see with this deck is that against combo, like if there's like a Malagos or an OTK combo, it's very difficult for you to get above 30 health because you lost a lot of armor game in Druid, so you could like put in Ferocious Howl to get some armor, but you lost Branching Paths, and the only other way to really play around combo like that is to run some of the tech cards. But for the first day of the expansion, you're not going to run tech cards. I'm not going to be throwing Hecklebots into my Healdred, especially now that you lost Naturalize, so you can't just Hecklebot into Naturalize whatever you pull. But yeah, Healdred seems pretty good. I do expect Healdred will be a deck list that falls off a bit, particularly if the Undertaker like stays in the list. I remember at the beginning of Raskan's Rumble, when the Undertaker, first came out, I have multiple videos on my channel actually talking about Taunt Druid and whether the traditional Witching Hour Cube Druid was better or whether the Undertaker Taunt Druid was better, and turned out that just the typical Witching Hour Cube version was better. The Undertaker is a card that is super cool, it's super unique, and like it's really fun to play. It just happens that it's like normally too slow to really make that big of an impact. I am interested on that note in trying the actual Immortal Paladin with like Recurring Villain and Prelate. I think that works. I saw a list like that somewhere. It might not even work, to be totally honest. I'm not quite sure the interaction, but that seems kind of cool. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you're looking for a bit of an expensive kind of memeier list to play on day one that's still very effective, definitely check out Druid. The deck code for this one that does run the Undertaker will be in the description below, and while you're in the description looking up the deck code, feel free to join the Discord. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.